Hey everyone, welcome back to KDX Bricks Analytics. I am always really excited to make this video because May the 4th weekend is around the corner. The countdown clock has started. It all starts this Wednesday at midnight Eastern, where I'm located. I'm going to tell you how much I think the gift with purchase will sell for. I'm going to show you all of the sets that will be 2x insider points and the few sets that will be 4x insider points. And I'm going to show you 4 purchases that I'm thinking about making to stack all of the promos and deals to get the lowest price possible. So let's get into it. Here at the May the 4th page on Lego.com, we see the very cool new UCS Django Starship. If you're an insider, if you pick it up during this promo, you'll also get this coin keychain gift. Since that's not a Lego set, I won't be picking this set up day one. I'll be waiting until it gets closer to retirement or we get other good deals or promos. But scrolling down the page, there's some other really great stuff to look at, like these special offers, especially this Kamino Training Facility GWP. And then we also have a Millennium Falcon Polybag GWP and a Django Feds coin GWP. I don't care about either of those, so we won't talk about those in this video. Looking at this gift with purchase, Lego says it's valued at $30. It comes with 3 minifigures. They are all the same, but they do have arm printing and dual molded legs. I really like these Clone Cadet minifigures in the reddish orange suits, and I'm okay that all 3 of them are the same. It also comes with a few side builds, the main one being this nicely sized KE-8 Enforcer Repulsor ship from episode 2, Attack of the Clones. You see it in the background of a few scenes when Obi-Wan is at Planet Kamino seeing the clone army, I think for the first time, and he's a little bit concerned with how these clones are being created, but it's a neat little ship that you barely see other than being kind of fuzzy in the background. Apparently it functions as a forklift, and it is also outfitted with a electroshock stun weapon so that it can keep these new clones in line. Here's the front of the box. It's only okay, and every time I glance at this, I think there are at least 6 minifigures, if not the 7th one over here. But I think the KE-8 looks really good on the front. I like that canopy all closed up. And then the back of the box doesn't really show us anything else. One minor action feature. So the big question is, how much will this set sell on eBay, Amazon, Marketplace, etc.? To start to figure out a valuation, let's look at the last few years of comparable sets. Here we are on Brickset looking at the previous Star Wars promotionals. Last year's was this Trade Federation troop carrier. I do have 6 of them. Brickset says about $40. And I think that's about right after shipping and fees and everything. eBay is showing about $50 or so all in. And then 2 years ago, we had this really good Death Star 2. Didn't have any minifigures, but nice little build. And Brickset is showing almost $50. And I think that's also about accurate. Here's one for 70 with shipping, 73 with shipping, and then down to 55. And then one more comparable to look at is from 2022, Lars Family Homestead Kitchen, $32 on Brickset. The least valuable of the 3 comparables. Makes sense. Only one okay minifigure and a pretty plain build. So as expected on eBay, it's going for much lower than the first 2 comparables that I showed you. And then one more data point to show you on eBay is how this new GWP is already doing. So these are pre-sales. Here's one for 63 with shipping, 65 with shipping, but it includes the small Millennium Falcon polybag, $70, 63. Now, as we've seen every year with these GWPs, this price will go down. If you are able to sell it right away, then maybe that gets you max profit. I actually like to hold on to mine for a little while. Usually I don't have time to sell them right away, and I'm waiting for them to be shipped to me. So by the time I get them and can get them on eBay and packaged up, it's too late. So with all that said, I'm thinking this set's going to go for about $40 after all the initial sales dust settles. And I'll show you that in a minute when I do my 4 buy calculations where I'm stacking all the promos and deals that I can. One last note on the GWP is if you put Kamino into Brickset, there's only one other set that pops up, and it's this Planet Series set from 2013. Retailed for $10, has a value of $26. On the one hand, that could be a problem for our GWP. Maybe this is way too obscure, but on the other hand, you can't get minifigures like this anywhere else. Same thing with the ship. Now, this May the 4th promo weekend, not only will we get some GWPs, but we will also get a bunch of sets that are 2x insider points. Keep in mind, you can always get 1x insider points, which amounts to about 5% of the cost. Here we are on a Lego.com page showing 23 sets. Not all of them are retiring at the end of this year, so I'm only going to highlight the sets that according to Brick Fanatics and Brick Tap are expected to retire at the end of this year. So these first three we will skip over. And now we've got Imperial Dropship and the Sarlacc Pit. Both of these are expected to retire at the end of this year. The Imperial Dropship versus Rebel Scout Speeder is a Lego exclusive, came out last October. So a year and a few months shelf life. That is really good these days. Retails for $40, 383 pieces, but 7 minifigures. So I actually think the price isn't terrible. Surprising, only a 3.9 on Brickset, but a number of members already own it and want it, so there's decent demand there. On the surface, it's all about the minifigures, but the builds actually aren't that bad either. A little bigger than Micro Fighters, which I like. Here are those minifigures. They aren't valued at much except the exclusive Astromech droid, almost $20 here. And then on Bricklink, it's backing that price up, $17.81. And adding up Brickset's value of all these minifigures, it's actually really close to the $40 retail price. One thing I will point out is that for me, only the Astromech is exclusive. I know Brickset says 3 of them are, and that these 2 Rebel Fleet Troopers are also exclusive. But if you look closely, the torsos are the same as this one that's in 2 other sets. So yeah, I really do like this set, and I plan on picking some up in a couple of days when all the promos come out. And one big reason I like this set is if we put Dropship into Brickset, there's some decent comparables in here, like this 20th anniversary Imperial Dropship from 2019 retailed for $20, showing $36. And then if we go down a little further, we've got an older Dropship from 2009 retailed for $10, $52. And then this Mars Mission drop. No, I'm totally kidding. That one is not Star Wars. Next one that's retiring that Lego is showing as 2x points is the Desert Skiff and Sarlacc Pit. I really don't know what to think about this set. Kind of a gamble in my opinion to pick it up. Retails for $80, 558 pieces, 6 minifigures, 4 of them are unique. It still seems like it is way overpriced. As we all know, it goes with Jabba's sail barge. If you want all of the minifigures for this scene and for this ship, then you need to get both sets. Looking at $500 for the sail barge, another $80 for the Sarlacc Pit. So $580 all in. That is a ton. The minifigures aren't doing that great on value yet, $4 to $8, but there are 6 of them, so it does add up in this $80 set, and they do look pretty good. And in this case, it looks like at least a few of these are exclusive. There are a few previous Desert Skiff and Sarlacc Pit sets. They are pretty good comparables. This one retired in 2018, $30 to $64. And then this one retired in 2014, $25 to $67. So I don't love this set for investing, but I do think it could be a decent gamble that I'd want to take. So I'm thinking maybe now's the time for me to make it happen. Jedi Bob Starfighter not retiring yet. Same thing with the Dark Falcon and C-3PO, but Ahsoka Tano's Duel on Peridia is. Here it is on Brickset, $55, 382 pieces, but 5 minifigures. Minifigures actually do have really good value, pretty close to retail price. But if you look on Camel 3X, we can see that it is regularly 20% off. And so I just don't think it's worth going through all the trouble to buy this set, to get a GWP that then you have to resell and hope that you get a decent price to maybe get 30 to 35% off. So I'll be waiting until later the year for this set. I would like to pick up a few. And very same story with this Mandalorian Paz Vizslas and Moff Gideon battle. I know it's not a very popular set, also very overpriced at $40, but it's one of the better scenes in the later episodes of Mandalorian, and these minifigures are really cool. But same story on Camel 3X, discounted a lot. I don't think it's worth all the effort to just get another 10% off on it. Back to Lego.com. Yeah, here's the Paz Vizsla and Moff Gideon battle. Ambush on Mandalore Battle Pack retire at the end of this year, but not worth even looking at. Same thing with the Captain Rex Y-Wing Microfighter. And actually now I'm having a brain fart. I can't remember if this Microfighter is retiring at the end of this year or not. I know you guys will help me out in the comments. Imperial Star Destroyer, awesome set, was supposed to retire last year briefly, but we knew that was a joke. Not retiring this year. So now we've got Clone Commander Cody Brickheads and then Darth Maul's Sith Infiltrator. Both of these are expected to retire at the end of this year. I do like my Star Wars Brickheads, so I do like this set pretty well. The standard $9 price looks pretty good. And then here's Darth Maul's Sith Infiltrator. It is a Walmart exclusive, $70 for 640 and 4 minifigures. All of them are unique. Seems like a better deal on paper, but I don't love the ship. Pretty studdy. Yeah, it's decent design and build, but pretty plain because it's all gray. And I'm not that enthusiastic about the minifigures, even though they are all technically exclusive. None of these 3 sets are retiring at the end of this year, so let's look at page 2. Not going to spend any time talking about the Crimson Firehawk, the annual 4+ Star Wars set. Coruscant Guard Gunship, $140. There's a lot to like in this set. 5 minifigures. Their value is okay, but same thing on Camel 3X. It's discounted a lot. I think we'll be able to get it for around $100. All these May the 4th promos and deals may get us to an equivalent of $90. Again, I don't think it's worth the extra effort. Plus, if you remember last year's May the 4th week, the Coruscant Amazon gunship was 4x insider points. This year, it's only 2x. And it was supposed to retire at the end of last year, and it was one of 7 key Star Wars sets that got extended. And then last ship retiring that is expected to be 2x insider points is the Ghost and Phantom 2. It is an Amazon exclusive set. This is a really awesome set, 4.4 on brick set, $160 for 1394 pieces and 5 unique minifigures. Seems really good, actually. And the Camel 3X story isn't as bad, so maybe pick this one up this time. But I did pick one up last year, but I have a concern from last year on this set too. If you remember, it was $30 off. That's much better than 2x insider points. So I know that many folks are already in on this Ghost and the last gunship at better prices than we can get this May the 4th promo week. All right, now let's look at the 4x insider point sets. This year, it looks like there are only 3 of them. The Venator class UCS ship, and then the UCS X-Wing, and then this TIE Fighter and X-Wing mashup set. For last year's May the 4th, the Venator had no promos, so for maybe personal collection, if you want to get it, this might be a good time to do it. And then last year, the UCS X-Wing was 4x insider points, so better deal last year than this year. However, it's one less year of hold time if you do want to pick some of these up for investing. I'm actually kind of interested, even though I don't love this set. It is the 3rd X-Wing UCS, but the more data I'm seeing, like the small X-Wing play sets from the last few years, it looks like X-Wings are just evergreen, and it doesn't matter how many Lego makes and releases. I know this one's a little flimsy and not rated that high and seems pretty expensive at $240, but on Camel 3X, it's showing that the Amazon price is holding steady and hasn't been on sale yet, but I know it's been on sale, I think at Target or somewhere else. All right, those are all the 2x and 4x insider point sets officially put out by Lego. Now, according to some rumors, there will be a few sets that are on discount, but I haven't seen that official or even from a source that I am super convinced is 100% accurate. So I don't know for sure, but it sounds like the Razor Crest UCS set is going to be 20% off, that the Mos Espa Padres diorama is going to be 15% off, the Tantive 4 mini scale 15% off, and then lastly the ATTE Walker 15% off. Obviously this one is a pass because it's not retiring yet. The Tantive 4 is a pass because we've seen better deals than 15% off already. The Mos Espa Padres diorama is definitely a pass because $80 is way overpriced, and all previous dioramas have not done well yet. So the only one that I could be interested in on discount is this Razor Crest at 20% off, but I did run the numbers, adding in Rakuten, GWP, insiders points, and according to Camel 3X, we've already seen it at a better price than the equivalent that we'd be getting it for, so I'm gonna wait. All right, now it's time to wrap up with my 4 purchases that I'm thinking about doing. I will definitely do at least 2 or 3 of them. The first set that I really want to get is the Imperial Dropship. If we get 4 of them, that comes up to almost $160. It would be 4 pennies less than the $160 GWP threshold. If you're 1 penny less, Lego will give it to you, but I think more than that, they won't. So we have to add a second set, which will be one of the Clone Commander Cody Brickhead, $10. That'll bring us up to $170 total. 2x insider points on both of these is $17 of not really cash back, but cash that you can use to buy future Lego sets. Since both of these are Lego exclusives, it's 1.5% on Rakuten at $3. Remember up front, I said that I'm putting a $40 value on the GWP, and so that means a total rewards of $60, which is 35% of the $170 buy-in price, and therefore the final equivalent cost, if you will, is $110. For a single unit of each of these sets, that works out to $26 for each of the drop ships. That's a $14 savings, and then $6.50 for the single Cody Brickheads. Keep in mind, Rakuten is really easy to use. It's a plugin that downloads right into your web browser. Easy to sign up for. Rakuten is very reliable. I've been using them for years now. Every quarter you get a check from them in the mail with all of your savings. It is direct cash back. If you've never used it before, I highly recommend that you sign up using somebody's promo code. Right now it's saying that you'll get $40. Sometimes it's $30. Sometimes it's $40. Every now and then it's as low as $10, but that's super rare. I think the typical is $30. And not only will you get the $30 savings, and then of course all the savings on all of your future purchases, but the person that you use the referral code will also get a $30 savings. I have my referral code down in the description, but don't feel like you got to use mine. Definitely go pick your favorite Lego YouTuber and go use theirs. If it's mine, I really appreciate it. If it's somebody else's, that's great, but just make sure you get yourself the savings and somebody that provides all of these great Lego YouTube videos some savings. I'm thinking this first buy would just be a solid investment. Since the drop ship is Lego exclusive, there might not be much opportunity to get it on sale. This might be the best we can do, and so I want to make sure that I don't miss out. All right, my second purchase that I'm thinking about making is going to be one of the UCS X-Wing Starfighters. I know, kind of crazy, but with 4x insider points, it adds up pretty good. Comes out to $48 in points, $6 in Rakuten, 2.5% this time because it is not a Lego exclusive, and then the same $40 GWP. That's a total rewards of $94 and a 39% savings against the $240 buy-in price, and an equivalent final cost of $146. My guess is we'll find sales on this set around $160 to $180, so I know it's not that great, but I'm thinking this is my hedge investment because after looking at this set over and over, I'm starting to think that I might want one for a personal collection. So I'm thinking I'll go for it here. If it doesn't work out as a good investment, then I'd be happy to have it in my own collection. Third buy I'm considering is 2 of the Desert Skip and Sarlacc Pit sets. That totals up to $160 minus 2 pennies, so I gotta add that Cody Brickheads in to get to $170. The Insider Points is $17 again. Rakuten at 2.5% is $4, and then the $40 GWP, $61 in total rewards, 36% savings, and the equivalent final cost is $109. That means that each Sarlacc Pit would cost me an equivalent of $51 with a $29 savings, and then same story for the Brickheads. Obviously, the big question about this Desert Skiff Sarlacc Pit set is, will it actually retire at the end of this year, since it clearly goes with Jabba's sail barge? It seems like Lego would want to keep this set on the shelves as long as Jabba's sail barge is, so who knows, but maybe this one sneaks out and maybe there's not much of a deal on it because, again, the sail barge is $500. What's another $80? So I wouldn't do more than 2, but I'm really considering making sure that I don't miss out. So I would call this my gamble investment. And then the last set I'm considering is not for an investment at all. This would be for personal collection. It is the Dark Falcon, $180. Awesome set. Normally I wait for better deals or closer to retirement, but I do want this one for personal collection and I kind of want it sooner than later. So we'll see if I end up getting this one now. 2x Insider Points yields $18, 2.5% Rakuten is $5, $40 again on the GWP. Total reward $63, 35% equivalent savings for an equivalent final cost of $117. All right, that's everything I wanted to show you. Have fun shopping. I hope you get all the deals and sets that you are looking for. Definitely let me know what awesome sets you picked up. That's a wrap, and I will see you in the next one. Oh, and don't forget, my videos are for entertainment purposes only. I do not provide financial advice. You got to get that from somebody else.